Welcome to the animated recap. In this video, we recapped an adventures and action movie named Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that was released in 2018. In the start of this movie, a child named Miles is shown who too was fan of Spider-Man fan like all of us. His father was not liking the Spider-Man. Miles didn't tell his father the complete truth as a result of this. Miles spent his free time conversing with his uncle Aaron. Miles studied all the time. He resides in a dorm. He used to visit us on the weekends. He had to go to school because the weekend was coming to an end. Uncle Aaron drives Miles to the railway station. It was abandoned. Uncle Aaron adores spray painting, therefore he asks Miles to paint the wall. He becomes enthusiastic and starts painting with a spray can. He produces gorgeous graphite. Miles is getting bitten by a radioactive spider in the backdrop. There is only one Spider-Man, as we have seen in the Spider-Man films, but something completely new is about to happen. Miles evolves every day. He was becoming taller and sweating. He makes everything he touches sticky. The Miles was perplexed by his transformation. He was unable to comprehend what was taking place. He has the ability to pass through walls and maintains all of his information while studying. He considers finding out what was in the metro station. It was emitting electricity, so as he turned to look, he could see that it was a radioactive spider. Miles observes Spider-Man engaged in combat. Additionally, he sees a massive collider. I will now define a collider. A massive device known as a collider has the capacity to carry passengers from several dimensions. It's possible to send Earth's population in a new direction. It suggests that the machine was super. Spider-Man is pictured facing the villain Kingpin. He might make an effort to contact someone from another planet. The possibility of the collider bringing an end to the planet is known to Spider-Man. Miles was peeping at Spider-Man covertly. Peter Parker recognizes that Miles has some of his superpowers and connects with him because of them. On the opposing side, the collider is turned on by the Kingpin. The monster and Spider-Man were fighting. When the collider starts up, the waves that kill the monster explode. Peter Parker sustains a serious wound. Peter Parker gives Miles a USB when Miles visits him. He must stop or shut down the collider at all costs. If the Earth is ignited once more, it will be annihilated. After Miles leaves, Kingpin returns to inquire about Spider-Man's well-being. When he realizes that he isn't completely dead yet, he ends him permanently. Miles notices this and turns around to go back to his house. Miles, who is being sought by Prowler as well, enters his home to the alarm of his horrified parents. Because he got home before the weekend, I suppose. He asks his parents whether it's alright if he spends the night here. On the other side, there were reports that the Spider-Man who had saved our city had passed away. The next day, Miles purchases a Spider-Man outfit. He shows up at the event where the wife of Peter Parker paid tribute. There were numerous people dressed like Spider-Man. Now that Miles is aware of this, he must take steps to protect the city. Because Miles used to carry out Spider-Man's duties, he must assume the role. Being Peter Parker means being Spider-Man. He moves agitatedly toward Peter Parker's tomb. He realizes the man is from another reality when he sees a man who looks like Peter Parker nodding off. It suggests that the Spider-Man from another dimension who came to Earth after Peter Parker died in the collision occurred. This Spider-Man was a male in his 35-40s. He was fat and aged. Peter B. Parker was the alias he used. He came here from his dimension when the collider started up. It indicates the Miles dimension. He is picked up there by Miles, and despite the heavy traffic, they barely make it to their destination. The new Spider-Man finds freedom there. Miles informs him that when he was performing the different exercises, the USB broke. He doesn't know how to turn the collider off right now. They also conclude that the collider must be shut down immediately. Maybe some other people have come from a different dimension as well. They make a second decision to create the USB, and in order to do it, they must visit Kingpin's workplace. Miles is unable to control how he uses his powers. Peter B. Parker instructs him to wait here while we walk inside the office. As a result, he walked into the office and saw Miles waiting outside. He thinks he won't see Peter Parker before he passes away. He also enters the office as he considers this. When Miles walks in, the Dr. Olivia Octavius is already in the room. It is also made known that Miles was bitten by a particular and powerful spider. Miles therefore possesses the superpower of invisibility. Miles turns invisible in order to avoid being noticed by Dr. Octavia. He tries to compromise the system. He just grabs the CPU and walks away because he doesn't break into the computer. After witnessing Spider-Man, Octavia discovers that the Spider-Man from this dimension has passed away. He could come from another planet. She does a test on his cells and finds that they are on the verge of dying. He will also perish if he continues to exist in this dimension. Dr. Olivia just found out that her CPU is gone. Miles took it and left. Later, she makes an actual appearance while costumed as Dr. Octavius. She starts to go after them. They leave the building. Dr. Octavius was still following them at that time. It shows a different Spider-Man. She was a female spider. She was Miles' classmate in this reality. She was a female spider in another dimension. A male Spider-Man was her mate. Kingpin's story was also made public in this place. One day, his wife and child arrive just as he is ready to kill Spider-Man. He realizes the reality when his wife and child leave. On the way there is an accident. Kingpin designed this collider since it was inevitable that they would arrive there. Therefore, he will bring his wife and child along when he returns from another dimension. Miles, Gwen, and Peter B. Parker make their way to Spider-Home. Man's Peter Parker introduces Aunt May to them. She realizes Peter B. Parker is not her Spider-Man as she watches him. She eventually guides them to Spider-Man's secret room. 3 other Spider-Man incarnations are encountered. They were Penny Parker, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Man Ham. According to them, we will shut down the collider. Okay, I will accompany you too, Miles replies. After you have taken your precautions, I will turn it off. The results of their remarks are felt by Miles. He cannot even tell his parents about this, so he contacts Uncle Aaron. Uncle Aaron must be met, and as he gets closer to him, he feels an approaching presence. He watches the prowler. Uncle Aaron was a prowler himself. Miles is alarmed and runs away. Uncle Aaron had no idea who he was. The fact that Spider-Man has visited him in disguise is all he really knows. He doesn't know he is a Miles. Prowler is after Miles. Miles stops at Spider's house. Man's everyone was waiting for him attentively. He states that everyone knows that his Uncle Aaron is a prowler. When the door opened, the full Kingpin army was present. It is an acronym for Goblin, Prowler, and Scorpion. Additionally, the rest. They clash here. Kingpin wants every spider exterminated. Prowler was standing behind Miles' Spider-Man. In his arms, he is. Uncle Aaron is surprised when he removes his mask. As a Miles, he is now invulnerable to being killed. When Kingpin realizes that Prowler is not killing him, he kills it. Here Uncle Aaron passes away. Also present is Miles' father. He was a police officer. He also credits this to Aaron after seeing him dead. Miles enters the house after making his way there to find all the Spider-Men waiting for him. They stress that Miles is unable to travel with us. They tell Miles the only person who can stop the collider in this realm is Peter B. Parker because he is unable to achieve this. They lock Miles there as they leave. He won't go there, therefore. Miles felt depressed since he couldn't help him. His father shared his son's dread for Miles. Because the city's conditions were awful. He felt horrible for Miles. As he was being imprisoned, Miles became aware of his additional ability, bioelectric venom power. With that power, he manages to free himself, and he moves on to Spider-Man's aunt's residence. He takes the USB with him as he goes from there. On the other side, there are speculations that Kingpin has organized a big celebration as a tribute to Spider-Man. Everyone was dressed like Spider-Man. The Spider-Men from other dimensions had no trouble entering because of this. They arrive at the location of the Super Collider. There was also Miles. After so many occurrences, he has now gained the skill to manage his powers. As soon as they come close to the Collider, Dr. Olvia also appears with Kingpin's other cronies. The Spider-Men all engage in combat. The Spider-Men must move in their various dimensions while the Collider ignites. From here, they depart. Spider-Ham, Spider-Noir, and Pen Parker all depart. Because Peter B. Parker has likewise found pleasure in his dimension, merely Miles was left here. Kingpin and Miles are presently engaged in combat. Kingpin went in quest of his family. He hurls everything onto Miles because he is unable to locate his family. Despite the fact that Miles was nothing in the eyes of Kingpin, he retains his bravery. Despite severe anguish, he continues to battle. In the end, he uses his venomous abilities to assault Kingpin. The Kingpin was defeated. In this example, Miles successfully switches off the Collider. The father of Miles was also seeing Miles. He is aware that everyone was saved by Spider-Man. However, he is unaware that he is Miles. Because Miles is wearing the suit and fears his father would be frightened. He ought to give him a call once. He approaches his father and bids him goodbye while wearing the masks. With that, Miles became the city's new Spider-Man. The other Spider-Men are able to grow to their full size. This beautiful movie ends here. We hope that you people would have liked this movie. In next videos, we will come with more interesting animated movies. For new animated movies, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon.